One. Hello and welcome to It's Your Business with Mario Toneguzzi on Megapix Media. Joining me today is Carolyn Levy, who is President, Technologies and Chief Diversity Officer for Randstad Canada. Thanks for joining us today, Carolyn.
Hi, my pleasure.
So you folks put out a list of jobs, I guess, that are of interest in 2021. Let's start by just asking you, what are the fastest growing roles that you guys see out there for this year in terms of the employment sector?
Right, so this is something that we've done for a couple of years, but this year it's a little more unique because we've gone with the fastest growing, but also fastest growing from a remote perspective, because now through the pandemic, we have lots more opportunity that's there from a remote piece. So when we get to what the fastest ones, not a lot of this is gonna feel like a surprise, but from a customer service perspective, getting into delivery drivers, when we look into essential workers, like into the grocers and into sanitization, and then of course we see security as well, help desk positions within IT. Those are really prevalent and leading this top 10 list.
Okay, and you also mentioned the remote work. Can you explain what some of those roles are, like the most in-demand remote work jobs?
Right, so this is what's been really interesting actually through the pandemic, just to kind of precursor before I answer that directly is, a lot of organizations have really challenged some business norms. One of the big ones was, hey, I have a flexibility policy, or you have to be at this threshold with your tenure to be able to work remote. Now, because of how fast and furious so many companies had to push remote, trust is really prevalent in a lot of organizations between managers and between their teams. So with that has helped this remote work list evolve. Traditionally, there's a ton that is around IT. That's always expected. Help desk positions, for example, are there. But now we're also seeing this importance around administrative assistants, for example. And it's not about them being in the office or executive assistants being in the office, sitting outside of the executive that they support. It's all of the logistics that they can do to set up the remote reality. And other positions like accounting, do you really need to be in that space, or can you be doing it remote in your home? So those types of positions are showing up and they're there to stick. It's something that a lot of companies have done surveys around to their employees to see, after the pandemic, are you interested in going back to the office full time? And a good 70 to 90% are saying no.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to ask, because I don't think I saw on those two lists the role of journalists.
No, it's not there, but it should be. There's a lot of stories to tell and a lot of information to share and a beautiful platform. So maybe it's number 11.
Okay, that's good to know. Speaking of journalists, you also had a list of shrinking jobs. What kind of jobs populate that list?
Yeah, it's a narrow one for now, but it is positions that sit in that direct front-facing retail that we know, and of course, positions in airlines. That stuff that's just exiting, and we've seen, even from announcements from a couple of airlines that they've had to continue to cut to the burden that's been there. Travel industry as well, obviously in hotel, all that side has really taken a hit.
Okay, super. Now, do you think that some of these trends, whether they're shrinking or whether they're growing, do you think that this is just a look at 2021, or do you think this kind of trends will go beyond 2021?
Oh, I absolutely think it will go beyond. Businesses now are figuring out how to work differently. They're looking into, even from a facility standpoint, how much office space do we really need? What else can we achieve? And even if you look at an organization like Randstad Canada, we have access to global talent, right? So how might we be able to have support in Brazil, in the Philippines? Like, we are in the tech industry, and you see in skilled trades as well, lacking talent that's within Canada. So how do we retrain within Canada, and how do we access other talent globally that would be interested to move also to Canada in the future? There's a lot of a new way of work, and it's emphasized by a lot of CIOs, CFOs, CEOs. upscaling and really pushing into their digital transformation, right? It's generally 18, 24 to 24 months ahead now that they're trying to reach that, which is just going to be a different way to operate. This whole feeling around all this, like think of over the holidays, everything that we've done with Amazon ordering and everything coming in a box, or all the food delivery. I think there's a lot of it that's going to stick with us. It's just that it'll emerge with a new way to live and a new way to work.
Okay, super. One last question for you, Carolyn. What are the top skills you think job seekers of today need to get work and embark on careers out there?
Absolutely. So communication would be one of them. Very, very important. Agile, problem solving, creativity, and a big one coming out of 2020 is resilience.
Okay, super. Well, thanks very much for joining us today, Carolyn.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Okay, that was Carolyn Levy, who is President, Technologies and Chief Diversity Officer for Randstad Canada. This has been It's Your Business with Mario Toneguzzi on Megapix Media. Thanks for joining us today.